A very good evening and welcome to Eswatini TV News at 8. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Linda Masugu and your sign language interpreter for tonight is Zamanzi Manze. Let's take a look at the headlines.
Senate has applauded the Ministry of Commerce on the Measurement Unit and Measurement Standards Bill. The Minister of Sports, Culture and Youth Affairs says arts and choral music, when financially supported, can put the country in the world map. Elections and Boundaries Commission Communications Officer Mangoni says EPC has received the request that it should extend the voters' registration period as it is expected to be closed tomorrow.
Well, let's get straight into the news in detail. Senate has applauded the Ministry of Commerce on the Measurement Unit and Measurement Standards Bill, saying it will help align the amount of substance purchased by Swati with their quality. Senators have been speaking during a meeting with the Ministry of Commerce on the bill.
The Ministry of Commerce, Industry and Trade, together with the Ministry's Portfolio Committee, Senate, led by Senator Alberto Samuels, held a close-by-close workshop for senators on the Measurement Unit and Measurement Standard Bill of 2020. The Minister of Commerce, Mangoni, delivered for the Senate amendments by the House of Assembly on the bill.
On page S28, part 3, the headline chair, National Metrology Institute of Eswatini. A proposal, normally a decision there from the House of Assembly, kwaba ukuthi sikususe lo sizathu sakhona kwaba ukuthi vele besakha i-parastatal mawufuza nje kuyi-parastatal letaba neboard ibe ne-management yayo kwabukeka ukuthi lama-parastatal ungathi semaningi kakhulu uhulumende uyahluleka nalokuwa-sustain yini ma-i-department bedingo.
Senators forwarded their questions and recommendations on the bill.
The Competition Commission ngulapho uvele mbamba sibika ngifuna kwathi kahle ifunction yakhe in relationship kunalo kulomthetho ngoba angisengambona avela kahle lo Competition Commission.
Uthi kuba ngubani kuba ngilomnikati wale business lo lokufuna aboshe noma kuba kuleso sisebenzi nje ngoba ngisophela le mhlambe lesisente lomdlalo lo nje ngiyatubutela nje
akhanza imithana ukala incane kepha leyana iphethe nini yayinze kakhulu sengibekisa nje ngendlela esidojwa ngayo sine nje siyavunula siye sike mayiya ukwanze kuncane lesandla kanje kepha na ufaka le mithana sibuka le yena usakhanza ugabagaba ifele siyadojwa ukuthi sekutawubuyela yini ume ngemumo kulolu hlango silolo.
The Senate also deliberated and passed the Legal Metrology Bill of 2020. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I'm Samkal Suekoza with Zimuva Shongwe, Parliament.
The Minister for Commerce, Industry and Trade, Mangoni, says the Technical Regulatory and Quality Infrastructure Bill will help improve local market surveillance. The Minister has been speaking during a meeting with Senate on the bill.
The Minister of Commerce, Industry and Trade on Tuesday also went close by close with Senate on the Technical Regulatory and Infrastructure Quality Bill of 2020. The Minister for Commerce, Mangoni, unpacked for the Honorable Senate objectives of the bill.
Market surveillance sitawuyenda njani buka lokuthi usalanzeleka ngomthetho chairperson bese kuseyikhuluma ke ngokuthi kunama special procedures whether ama regulations akhona njengoba kudlule imithetho then part 4 yona ukhuluma nje ngokuthi unit to promote equality. We will see put over the national accreditation focal point. Lapha ke kaSADC kune accreditation board. Yes, ikhona imphanda libidwa ngaSADCAS. Niyo ke letawo accredited umsebenzi wethu bamswasa la kaNgwane.
The Senate adopted the bill together with the Standards and Quality Bill of 2020. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I am Samkal Suekoza with Simova Shongwe, Parliament.
The Minister of Sports, Culture and Youth Affairs, Harris Bolunga, says arts and choral music, when financially supported, can put the country in the world map. The minister has been speaking during the launch of the 2023 Jilo Arts and Culture Festival.
The Minister of Sports, Culture and Youth Affairs, Harris Bolunga, on Tuesday launched this year's Njilo Arts and Culture Talent Festival, with the main category being choral music.
Our quest as a ministry is to ensure that music remains a key component of our cultural preservation and maintain our history. The prescribed music for the 2023 Njilo Arts and Cultures Festival and going forward will therefore depict the nation's rich cultural heritage, our landmarks, and our beautiful land. This aligns with our mandate as a ministry, which is to recognize and celebrate regional histories and cultures in which the competition's composition should embrace.
CEO of the Swati National Council of Arts and Culture, Stendil Dlamini, said art and choral can help promote and celebrate the kingdom's culture.
Let us celebrate our local compositions. Let us celebrate individuals that have excelled in this sector, in our choral music. But more than anything else, let us be seen to be celebrating us as a country and as a nation.
Eswatini Choral Music Association Director Matogoza Spia touched on the objectives of the festival.
We want to occupy the youth with meaningful play through talent searches and festivals and keep them from wrong habits. We also want to discover new, young, raw talent, develop it, encourage it, and reward it.
The 2023 Njilo Arts and Culture Festival will be held on the weekend of August 18. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I'm Samkal Suekoza with Simova Shongwe, Babane.
Elections and Boundaries Commission Communications Officer Mangoni Bembe says EPC has received requests that it should extend the voters' registration period as it is expected to be closed tomorrow. Bembe says despite the request, no decision has been taken in this regard. On Tuesday afternoon, long queues were observed around registration centers with the Mbabane Central Business District. Bembe encourages Swati to use the remaining hours to vote in order to have a chance to elect their preferred candidates.
Tinombolo ukuthi kasikafiki ku-625 mangabe singakefiki akusho lokho ukuthi angete sakhona kuwenda lo msebenzi welukhetho ngani nobe ngabe balishumi nje kuphela lababhalisile labo basuke sebashito ukuthi sesiya elukhethweni timiso telukhetho tithi bantfu labatabe babhalisile ngaleso sikhathi akube ngibo labatawuhamba bawungenela lukhetho. The
Elections and Boundaries Commission Communications Officer Mangoni Bembe says whether the 625,000 mark is reached or not, it does not have an effect on whether to hold the elections or not. He adds that even if 10 people were to register, the elections will proceed. Bembe further stated that there is nothing stipulating that elections can proceed when a certain mark has been reached during registrations. Bembe also says EPC received requests to extend the registration deadline. He says voters gave reasons for their requests to extend the deadline. He also mentioned that EPC have not taken a decision on this regard. Bembe says for now, June 14 is the deadline for registration. He encourages the Swati to register, adding that some registration centers will close at 6 p.m.
Tindzaweni lapho khona kukhanya khona letinye futhi ukhanza ukuthi tisendzaweni lapho kusheshe khona kube nelithundi khona tetawuvalwa ke leto tindzawo letinelithundi nga5 kanzi leti letawukhanza ukuthi kuyakhanya titawuchubeka tona kuze kushaye insimbi yesithupha. Kanzi nangabe bantu basolo bakhona sitawetama lokuthi bagcine babhalisile bonke kuleso sikhungo ngoba libandla lifisile kuletha umsebenzi kuzosiza.
The Eswatini Communications Commission has donated equipment to the Digital Terrestrial Television Department under the Ministry of ICT. The equipment will help improve the quality of broadcasting. The equipment was handed over by the ESCOM CEO Mvilawembi Dlamini.
With the aim of ensuring that broadcasting in Eswatini is at par with world standard and ensuring that quality broadcasting and broadcasting equipment is in a good state, the Eswatini Communications Commission has looked at the needs of the Ministry of ICT, especially the DTT department, and donated with equipment that were urgently needed. The Eswatini Communications Commission CEO Mvilawembi Dlamini says they are committed to support the ministry and improve broadcasting in the country.
Tingika tinyeni tatiti yepake sibukele tingazi tona tisheshisa sazi cha lokungathi vele se critical kakhulu asiqale ngako kubambisa uhulumende ikakhulu into njengama UPS.
Some of the donated equipment includes 8 UPSs, a generator, amongst other things. The Principal Secretary in the Ministry, Pressure Dube, thanked on behalf of the Ministry of ICT, saying they are grateful they were in need of the equipment.
On behalf of my minister, Ingosatan, the ministry yonke, ngalesipho le nithelo mhlanjena nasipha sona. Akusimala mangakhe nika nasibita a few months ago lapho khona nasipha equipment worth about 1.2 million camera ka TV. Lo mhla sesithanza futhi sibuyile sitoyemukela sipho lesinye lesikhulu kangaka. Sithi on behalf of the ministry sicela ukuthi bongela kakhulu.
He further says there's still a challenge of security of the equipment as it is being stolen now and again. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I'm Kian Msibi with Parties Msibi, Baban.
Finally, the Mangoni traffic lights are functioning. The Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Public Works, Tulani Mkalipi, says it was costly for government to rehabilitate the traffic lights as a new form of technology has now been used.
After a period of over 2 years, the Mangoni traffic lights have not been functioning in Mbabane. This is due to copper wire theft and vandalism. It will come as good news to both pedestrians and motorists that the traffic lights are now fully functional. For over time, they've been since inconveniencing both pedestrians and motorists, especially pupils of Mangoni Primary School. We spoke to the Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Public Works and Transport, Tulani Mkalipi, to hear what they and how they will ensure that this time around these traffic lights are not vandalized. Mkalipi said they have since used a new form of technology and technique, which he will not divulge more about for security reasons.
Sithinge this time around mhlawumbe asesiyofuna technology lenye yebo kona iyasidulela le technology lesinayo la yalala khona nyalo mhlawumbe kutaba lukhonyanyana ke lokuthi kwendele le vandalism but siyaqala nje size lokuthi le mpahla ayinakekele ngoba le mpahla lena vele yesive sonke naloku yabuyisela kudulile kusibuyisela emva kakhulu ngabe sendaletinye tinto egiyani.
Mkalipi says with all funds permitting, they wish to take this form of technique to other towns as well in these traffic lights. Reporting I am Kian Msibi Shongwe, Mangwaneni.
Pan-Africanist scholar Patrick Lumumba challenges Eswatini chartered accountants to think out of the box and look at where they can invest in the African continent. Professor Lumumba said this during the annual dinner and graduation ceremony that was hosted by Eswatini Institute of Accountants.
Professor Patrick Lumumba, wide-ranging lecture touched on politics, education, justice, religion, among other topics. Eswatini Institute of Accountants invited Professor Lumumba to lecture about strengthening ethical leadership for sustainable economic recovery, peace, and social justice in Africa.
If you look at the ethics that we teach in the accountancy profession, are they rooted in the culture of Eswatini? When we teach ethics to the lawyers, are they rooted in the culture of Eswatini? No, they are not. So you accountants of Eswatini, go out into the world and do the impossible. You accountants of Eswatini, go out there and be the agents of the change. You accountants of Eswatini, go out there and remember that you can be great.
Eswatini Institute of Accountant Chairperson Makosazane Mhlanga congratulate chartered accountants that are graduating.
I wish you success and happiness in all you do. I know how hard you have worked for this, and I'm so proud of all of you. Your accomplishments are even more impressive as most of you have carried them during a worldwide pandemic. No doubt your life was disrupted at some point. No doubt there was also added stress, but you overcame all the challenges.
Professor Lumumba says there is a need for revolution of ethics in order for Africa to develop. For Eswatini TV News, Fortune Dlangamandla, with Sikumbozo Dlamini Esibayeni Lodge Matsapa.
The UNISA Foundation has unveiled new members for its leadership, chaired by Nozizwe Mulela. The 5 members were unveiled at the Hilton Garden Inn on Tuesday.
One of the mandates of the UNISA Foundation is to support the University of Eswatini and to ensure that it fulfills its mandate. The UNISA Foundation has unveiled its leadership who will look into the issues of the university and to ensure that the counterproductivity of the university is sustainable through partners' assistance. Present during the unveiling of the new members were stakeholders, including the private sector, who also pledged to work with the university where they can. The foundation CEO, Vulindlela Simelane, says they have a task to mobilize resources for the university's advancement.
We have a moral obligation to do so and to do the right thing. And thank heavens we've got people from industry and development finance institutions, regulators gathered here today. We can do something, but so long as we are all coming together and we are creating mutually beneficial synergistic partnerships that will catapult the institution to greater heights. We know that we are all concerned about the state of the institution as described so eloquently by the Vice Chancellor and some of the infrastructural development projects that need to be put in place. And I think there's really strong merit in us supporting that.
The university and the foundation say they promote and strategically look for funding and attract scholarships for learners. The members include the chairperson Nozizwe Mulela, Mbuso Simelane, Mzamo Dlamini, Tapsile Mlangeni, and Mandla Ndlovu. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I'm Kiani Msibu with Muzi Mkonda Mbabane.
The Eswatini Schools Music Association has received 500,000 Malangeni sponsorship for the school's choral music competition that is competed for among 7 schools. The Ministry of Education and Training Director of Education, Dr. Ntombenhle Dlamini, says music and learning go hand in hand.
This is the 18th edition of the Eswatini Schools Choral Music Competition sponsored by Eswatini Bank. The bank's managing director, Nozizwe Mulela, says the 18 editions translate to a lifetime of grooming, pruning, and unleashing talent among students and choir masters.
I believe we will continue to unearth more talent through this program. It must be highlighted that the 2023 competition is now decentralized to all 4 regions of the country.
The Minister of Education and Training Director of Education, Dr. Ntombenhle Dlamini, says music is essential to learners as they acquire personal skills.
But there is a direct link between cognitive development and music. In our schools, we have children who come from different backgrounds. Some lack what we call self-confidence. And music brings back just that.
Eswatini Schools Music Association Chairperson Stembiso Dlamini says the competition has grown in leaps and bounds through the unmatched commitment that has been demonstrated by the bank.
The orchestration of Siswati music is a great milestone for us in the project, and we will forever be grateful to Eswatini Bank for believing in this national project.
This year's competition will consist of the same Sikelela Msibi Award. This is to honor the deceased Msibi, who was a pioneer in many things, and many conductors and choristers owe their success to him. For Eswatini TV News, Fortune Dlangamandla with Muzi Mkonda Mbabane.
And now let's take a look at the financial indicators.
Standard Bank. It can be.
And now into your sports roundup, we begin with boxing news, where boxer Thabiso Dlamini, who is in Russia, says preparations have been going well. Dlamini says he is preparing to start a intense training camp with boxers from Serbia and Russia in preparations for the Olympics qualifiers that will begin in the next 2 months.
Local boxer Thabiso Dlamini, who is currently in a training camp in Russia, is making great progress with his training. Thabiso, who was previously fighting under the 67 kg category, is now eligible to fight under the 63 kg category. Dlamini says fighting in that category will help him advance further, as he will have the height advantage compared to many boxers he might face. Dlamini says he is preparing for the Olympics qualifiers. He will be starting an intense training camp with boxers from Russian Federation and Serbian Federation.
Ngingasho nje ukuthi amalungiselelo ahamba kahle kakhulu sisesigabeni lapho khona esihambile sayodlala, and it was our first tournament sidlala under 63 kg. Ngingasho lokho ukuthi kudlala under 63 kg kusiniketa i-advantage because sibathe, and iphindze futhi inkinga yethu bethi sisemkhathini wa 71 na 63. So sisitena sijima la nawathi coaching, looking at my weight in Chabo 65, then also decided ukuthi angihambe ngiyodlala 63 kg. Then kude kunginiketa i-advantage kakhulu, and siyalungiselela namanje indlela esilingiselela ngayo for no qualifiers. Sitawuhamba ku-training camp lapho khona tawuba ne-Serbia ibambisene ne-Russian boxing team, lapho khona sitawuthola a lot of sparring, sithole nabo push labanye labahlukile. So ngicabanga ukuthi kutasiniketa nje advantage ngakho bonke.
Moving on with our sports roundup, 4 volleyball teams have booked their place in the semi-finals of the inaugural Mula Sports Betting Series games under the male division. Correctional will take on Lutzelutz in the first semis, and in the second semis, we'll see Bobcats play UEDF under the female category. Correctional and Sunrise will face Angels, and Scorpion will face Res. The semi-finals of the tournament will be played this coming weekend at the Olympia Africa, Lobamba. Reporting for Eswatini TV Sports News, I am Patizon Sebi. Babane.
And that's how we reach the end of tonight's bulletin. But before we leave you, here is a reminder of the news-making headlines. Senate has uploaded the Ministry of Commerce on the Measurement Unit and Measurement Standards Bill. The Minister of Sports, Culture and Youth Affairs says arts and choral music, when financially supported, can put the country in the world map. Elections and Boundaries Commission Communications Officer Mangoni says EPC has received the request that it should extend the voters' registration period, as it is expected to be closed tomorrow. All right, that's all the news we had for you tonight. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for the weather forecast. From all of us here as the Eswatini TV News team, it's good night.
Hey, uyakuregister.
Sengiregistela ini manje Didi phela ngoba isimo.
Hey, cha ke ngiyamangala. Kuthi kulesikhathi lesiphila kiso, kule live lesiphila kilo, ukhona umuntu lomusha longadi ukuthi kulamalanga kuyabhalisa.
Hayi man Didi nibhalisela ini?
Sibhalisela likhetho mhla ka 14 wekuceda kubhalisa usemnyaka kulamaviki latako.
Ya Didi kutasita ngani nelokhu register?
Kutasita kakhulu phela ukuthi le nombolo lebantu abasha lababhalisako ibe setulu. Sitakwati ukukhetha abantu labatasimelela, bantu labasatiko tidzingo tethu sibantu labasha, bantu labatawati ukuthi uma ngabe ufuna kuletha lishinjo, ufuna wende njani.
Ya Didi mina kusasa ngivukela khona, ngiyakhona sengiyoregister.
Sekulate kusasa setivele tithumele emasimbeni. Hamba ulenze matisi lapha esitolo kaMasango bakhona lababhalisako. Mina ngibese ngibhalisa edolobheni ngekuthi khona tishwana bengiyodenda.
Avele ngiphuthume endini ngithathe iID yami ngiyakhona.
Utakusita lokho mngani wami. Hawu.
Bring on the break with holiday entertainment for the whole family on DSTV.
I got that crazy happy feeling and I'm ready to set it free.
Bring on the action.
Let's do this.
Bring on the drama.
What is going on?
And definitely bring on the laughs.
This is where it all happens. Like what you see on TV, this is it right here.
Maximize your experience by streaming on the DSTV app and upgrade your account using the My DSTV app. Bring on that local and international star power.